Hi, it's me again. I know you're all sitting at home bored, hopefully putting on clothes, not wearing just pajamas every day. So I am still working on that duck that I got from Liberty Farms Ducks. So I got 3 whole ducks. I showed you, I broke them down on Instagram Live a couple days ago. But I made some duck confit. So it's rainy outside. I want to do DLT, duck, lettuce, and tomatoes. So I have some romaine here. And then I did some oven-dried tomatoes with a little rosemary from the garden. So Roma tomatoes, a little olive oil, salt, pepper, rosemary, and slow dried them in the oven. So DLT, so the tomatoes aren't great right now, so that's why I, did that. Everybody's into gloves now. So what I want to do first is remove these bones that are in the duck before I start to crisp it. So I'm going to turn my pan on, medium. Okay. And I've got this duck here. So what I'm going to do is, using the palm of my hand, I'm going to put pressure. And I'm going to turn. And pull out the bone. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, on the other side. Now, there's a little feather bone in there. Don't miss it. Someone will choke. It's really sharp. Okay, you got to get that. And this is the tasty bit. Okay, so that's the skin side up. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Holding it tight because I don't want to shred it. Pull it. Okay, same thing down here. You got the other bone. Turning it. Now go inside. What I'm looking for is, it's right in here, which is the joint, the knee joint, and I'm going to push out right here. You can see me pushing it out right there. There's the bone. So this is all no good. Chunk. Now, does everybody know how to take off gloves? So start with one. Put it on the other one, seal it into the other one. Okay, so what I have here is duck fat. It's gonna go in my pan. Now, the pan isn't too hot. I don't want it to be really, really hot because I don't want, 1, the fat to burn, and 2, I don't want to burn the skin. I have my oven on over here. You want to have an oven ready, so I'm going to put it skin side down in the pan, finish it in the oven at 300 degrees, crispy skin, nice and hot through, but not dry. Okay? Melt my fat. This is all rendered from when I got the whole ducks. Now the key is doing it in a certain process. I want to put the duck in the oven first, then I'm going to cook my bread. I don't want to start my bread, then the duck. This is the whole reason why I started cooking, was watching breakfast cooks and how they timed everything. So, that's key, that's sound. That sound that I'm listening for is the bubbling of the fat, and it's crispy skin side down. Really important. Now, they're not sticking, see? You don't have to use a non-stick pan. You can use any type of pan. Now, if you want, you can put a little weight on them. I'm going to use these chef presses I like. We use them at the restaurant. It's going to put a little even weight down on the duck so the skin is across. Okay, now I'm going to slowly turn my heat up. And see, the duck is still moving in there. It's not sticking. Really important. Can't stick. Then you lose all the skin. Then you lose all the best part. If you need these are really great. Bruce Hill made these, designed them, so they've got vents, so your product doesn't get soggy on one side. These work great. They come in different weights. I love them. No, he doesn't pay me to use these. I use them because I like them, not because I get paid. So what goes into traditional BLT? Bacon, lettuce, tomatoes. So we're going to do D. So D is duck, lettuce, romaine, tomatoes, the oven dried. So what I've got here is I've got some straight up sourdough sliced bread. I'm not going to use fancy bread because I don't want to. And then I have mayonnaise, or aioli, garlic mayonnaise. So, okay. Now, right in the oven. Okay. Little butter, it's not that much. You don't need tons, but you want to toast that bread. I need a little more. Oh, that one doesn't have any. That one's getting cheated. There we go. Now remember, we're only going to toast one side of the bread. Okay? Really important. Finished plates. Bye-bye cutting board. So I'm going to want to warm the tomatoes up. I don't really think they'll go in there, like, you don't want them to be cold. It's not like your traditional bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. You want these to be lightly warmed. So what I'm going to do is when the duck comes out, I'm going to drain off that fat. You can save the fat. You can use it again. You can learn all about that from grandparents who survived World War II. They would save their bacon fat. They would save everything. Perfect example. Where'd it go? Where'd the fat catcher go, T? Ah, here it is. So this is literally a grease catcher that they used to use during war times. So literally, says grease, you render your whatever it is, and this is the drip catch. So you pour it through and it catches all the bits and pieces, and below you have fat that's usable again. This was the way of the times, so brilliant. Now this is our new way of times. So what have I got here? I got some nice toast, almost. Okay, I got a hot spot over here. Getting? Nope. Sort of. Kind of like a game of cards. Okay? So, tomatoes. The trick I'm going to do with the tomatoes, once I take my duck out, I'm going to put the tomatoes lightly in the pan. That's going to warm the tomatoes really quickly. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, you see the bubbles are starting to come down. It's about 2 more minutes in the oven, and we're good to go. So, yeah, it's kind of fun to have a nice kitchen to be able to cook in. Thank goodness this is finished prior to us being in quarantine, and I would have really lost my mind. So, romaine lettuce, really crisp. It's been washed, okay? Here's my mayonnaise or aioli. So, good, 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 good. Okay. 1 piece bread down. 1 piece bread down. Okay, so bread toasted, one side, not both. You don't need to toast the inside of the bread. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Little garlic aioli. You can use mayonnaise. I like Duke's mayonnaise. You hear that, Duke's? I'm a great spokesperson. Okay. So, I like to put down the lettuce and alternate. See, I got the crunchy part on both sides and I flatten it. Okay. Perfect. Crispy, crispy. Now this is where the grease pan comes into effect. So, don't use your hands. That would be bad, this is hot. That duck is still loose. Now I'm gonna flip it. Nice and crispy. Gonna turn the heat on really quick, get a little more, just get a little more commitment. Look at that nice crispy skin. Beautiful. I wanna make sure that the meat's hot. I don't want it to be a soggy duck, lettuce, and tomato. I want it to be a nice, flavorful, crisp one. Okay? So here, this is that trick. This is what my grandmother used to do. Probably all your grandparents did it. The fat's hot, so it's gonna melt and go right through. Oh yeah. Now, this is how you warm your tomatoes. I think it only needs 2, but I'm gonna put an extra one in there just in case. And the fat is slowly gone down into the bottom for another day. Beautiful. Okay, duck, lettuce, and tomato. Next up, so I'm gonna put duck, no goose. Okay, tomatoes are gonna sit there. Now here's one of the key parts. Okay, make sure you use your spatula. You want even disbursement of duck, so if I press on it, it spreads out, so it's all over the whole sandwich. Okay, tomato, warm. Yeah, I don't think it needs more than that. I'll save that one for me. Now, toasted bread needs a little more mayo. Put that down. Oh yeah. Don't go too crazy on the mayo, unless you're a mayo fiend, but you know, there are some of you out there. Okay. Now, there you have it. Look at that. Duck, lettuce, and tomato. For those of you who are sitting at home, you don't have to use bacon, or you can use bacon. The key right now is tomatoes aren't so great. So take them, oven drying them, unless you're down in Florida. Florida tomato season's right now. I know it because when I was down there for Miami, South Beach Food and Wine, tomato season was banging. But if you can't get really great tomatoes, oven dry them. So take them, split them in half, a little olive oil, salt, pepper, some thyme, some rosemary. Put them in your oven at 200 degrees on a sheet pan and let them cook for about 2 hours, and you get those really great tomatoes. And you can store them in the fridge and pull them out and heat them when you need them. But this is a great way to do something a little different. Shout out to Liberty Farm Ducks, who has been really, really key and instrumental in our business at Coxcomb, as well as up at Acacia House in Napa. Without you guys, I would kind of be up the creek without a duck paddle. So thank you very much, everybody, and enjoy DLT. I'll put the recipe up for everybody online.